Oh, dude. Oh shit! What if I'm?
No, this is actually a pretty solid quality.
Yo, dude. Okay, because what I'm doing right now is I'm recording this on Anchor FM on my phone, but I'm also using my microphone that's attached to my iMac to get some good quality. So you're gonna get you're gonna be SD, and I'm gonna be like HD, 4K.
Yes, Shaun D'Souza is SD.
Yo, why are you Bird on my phone? How does it know? Yo, what is that? I was like, does technology now recognizes inside jokes from college?
No, you get to actually you get to choose what you put on there. Wait,
you're not doing anything.
Wait, you're in the middle of a podcast right now?
Yeah, I'm recording now.
Oh my god. Well, I just finished taking a shit. That's why I was hoping it wasn't video because I was wiping my ass and I'm like,
no, man. You know what I realized? Like, I've done so much video, but I feel that if I just put all my energy on the actual audio, I could like kind of kill it. I've been like doing some like solo podcasts with the helicopters that's been hovering and like the random explosions on the streets. Dude, it's
you're making
nuts.
A dot recording audio story? Okay, cool.
Yo, I'm looking at my analytics and I have 2% of the people listening to this from Germany. So for the 2 people from Germany, if you know what DAT recorder is, you let me know, okay? I want
to believe that DAT was an international phenomenon.
But you know what's crazy? I really had a fun time doing those audio recordings, but then my focus was too much on just like making weird shit on TV.
Yeah, exactly.
So wait, are you working right now? At home?
I'm working tomorrow and the next like couple days, but I'm off today, so it's not too bad.
So remotely, or you go to the office?
No, we've been remote. Like we were in the office for the first week after everyone else was shut down, but then they finally let us start working from home after that. So that first week was not ideal, but since
right.
We've had a couple of cases. Like I guess like the news division is still going at Agent Court, but most sports have been at home, and then like lately when there's been live events, we've had like a couple people going in and producing some stuff, but most of the work's been at home now.
That's insane, because now it's like, oh, you're gonna call in sick? Well, you might as well just work from home.
Exactly. Like there are some people called in sick, but it's like the other night I had like a power failure in my building for the first time in like 4 years.
Oh, that's a good excuse.
Yeah, I was like in the middle of my shift. Like, I guess we can't do this Ken Griffey Jr. top 10. Sorry, man. I don't know what to do about this.
All of a sudden, Shaun fucking posts a story of him skydiving in Dubai.
Yo, only white people go skydiving. What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, somebody just pushed you off because you were brown. Shit.
But
yo, we are back.
My girlfriend always wants to go like skydiving or like, you know, all
bullshit
extreme sports. And I'm like, why do you value your life so little?
Dude, I love that. You should definitely write a book about a brown dude's dating guide to white girls. That's fucking amazing. Dude, you and me combined. You know what? I'm gonna write that down right now. Because I got stories.
I think it would be eye-opening. I think it would be very enlightening to a lot of people.
Shaun, I'm gonna tell you one word, and then you're gonna fucking laugh. But if you don't laugh, I'll give you $100. Okay, but this is US. Okay, I'm gonna give you one word of me dating this white girl, and I'm gonna give you one word, and if you laugh, it's done. Okay. So this is the word, okay, this entire story. Choking.
What?
Yo. That's okay. Hold on. Let me write that down.
Hold on. Say that word again.
Choking.
Oh, yeah.
Man, wait. Instead of writing choking, I wrote children's. Okay.
Choking children?
Wait, brown dudes. Guy. Wait, so what's your girlfriend's name?
Name's Jill. Her last name is Swan. Like the whitest fucking bird ever.
Dude, I wrote it as Suan, as Suan, like
like an ancient Chinese dish.
Yeah. I was like, oh, she must be Chinese.
Oh man, that word that you posted, like the definition today, is so good because that
What's it called? Bizu?
Bizwow or something. I feel like the last word was like a swow or something like that. Like the pronunciation was swow. It's like TSWAW. I don't even.
Oh my God! Hold on. Let me. I just want to let my listeners, the 2% people in Germany, what we're talking about right now.
A Biswow, I think.
Okay, so there's this meme online called Baizuo, Baizu,
Yes.
or Zuo, and right beside the picture is of I'm gonna assume a white lady with pink hair, glasses, pink bandana, and her shirt says "White men are terrorists."
Lots of
with a bunch of other white ladies behind him. So what a bai cao is a Chinese epithet meaning naive Western educated person who advocated for peace and equality only to satisfy their own feeling of moral superiority. A bai cao only cares about topics such as immigrations, minorities, LGBT, and the environment, while being obsessed with political correctness to the extent that they import backwards Islamic values for the sake of multiculturalism. Oh my God. AKA like yoga?
Yes.
And chai. The Chinese see the bai cao as ignorant and arrogant Westerners who pity the rest of the world and think they are saviors. That is amazing. I want to have that on a bag. I want to tattoo that on my lips.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't want to brand every white person with that, but there's a lot of people who. I think that's a better term than virtue signaling or any of that other shit. Biswow, I like that one.
But the fact that those 6 letters encompasses so much.
Yeah, it's so true.
It's like, yo,
that's a very specific word.
And that's why the Chinese have to have a bunch of, their writing is a lot because they just add a line here and there just so, that's fucking nuts. So wait, so how you been, man?
Not too bad. I mean, I don't know. The first month was not that.
Because right now Shaun is located in Toronto, right? Okay. Are you still at your place, your condo?
I am up at Yonge and Sheppard. So for people who don't know, which is probably most of your audience, that's
not near Drake. First of all,
you know what? Not that far from Drake, actually.
Oh, what?
Because Drake, I think, has a house in this neighborhood. I want to say
okay, what is your neighborhood in comparison to LA? Like, describe me what is Yonge and Sheppard.
Yonge and Sheppard is this little town called Willowdale, and it's like 3 races predominantly. It's pretty much just all Asian, white, or Middle Eastern. So it's kind of bougie. It's a little more high end, but the food is amazing. And then like being anything that's not one of those 3 races is like pretty big minority. So I'm like the normal demographic in this area. But yeah. So Drake kind of lives like, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 blocks. Or 3 or 4 like main streets over. Like I feel like he has a house in like Avenue or something, or Leslie, and somewhere around here. So this is kind of north of downtown.
That's what LA just wants to know, where Drake lives, and if you know Drake. Like when I tell people I'm Canadian, I tell them, yeah, I've seen Drake like 5 times in like a month one time.
Young Money.
Well, like when I think of like,
but and then I say like in my head like 5 times on like the media.
Yeah.
So I don't feel bad.
Well, I think like Drake sits courtside at Raptors games, and Kiri works like courtside at Raptors games. So I feel like I'm like 2 degrees away from Drake generally.
Basically Drake, because you're proud.
Really like the same skin tone. Like I don't know. I feel like I'm Drake.
People mistaking you for Drake's dad.
I also started from the bottom. And now I'm
Shaun D'Souza. No, Shaun Drake. That's what. Wait. Okay. So for those who don't know who Shaun D'Souza is and how we met, we go back way back when 2004.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we both went to the school called Ryerson University. Our program was RTA, Radio and Television Arts. It was the first, this is what I tell everyone. Yeah, RTA was the first studio in North America, basically, that was all HD compatible. But we made nothing. We made shitty weather, Yo,
We
it was, but
didn't even
whatever.
get to use that studio very much. It was always like, nah, you go to those Bill studios and record some dog shit, and then bring it back.
Oh, you want to use the Max? No, use Sony Vegas. Shut the fuck up. But yeah, like there was what 100 and something students, 180.
I think
or
it started with
80 students?
180. I don't think we finished with anywhere close to that. I want to say we finished
Right.
with like maybe 120 if we're lucky, maybe 100, maybe 100. Like a lot of
Okay.
people left, right? Like there were people who left like right away. There were people who
Yeah,
left
because they fucking knew already.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's fucking crazy? I'm such a hypocrite because, and I'm sure you could understand this too as someone who's been in the school system for years. Like, in my mentality, you finish school, you get a job. Anyone who leaves school during high school or during college, I remember just picturing them as like, wow, good luck in life.
Yeah.
Good luck, you know? But I'm like, wait, as soon as I graduated from Ryerson, no one even gave a shit about the degree.
No.
It's all about who you know. It's all about like how good you are with people, good you are with what you do with your work, you know?
For sure.
How much it's so fucked up. It's such a weird, you know.
It's so weird because I think when you come out, I think a lot of people were scared they wouldn't get jobs or whatever. But generally, I feel like it wasn't that hard to get a job. It was hard to get something that you actually wanted or that you actually liked. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like we had enough connections from school or from like people that you met there that you could get something. But it was like,
oh, for sure. Like
that, people you would like brag about to your friends or like tell people to like, oh, you should do this program and like get into this industry. It's booming. You'd be like, oh, like you're gonna be some PA on a shoot for like the next 5 years if you had that security even like.
Mm-hmm. Like I remember doing not even PAing, just like being the greeter at Air Force. Yeah. And it was so weird too, because I'm like the first guy that they see, just welcoming them and just making people feel at home. And then all of a sudden, like the higher up PAs showed them to the seats, showed them where. Yeah. But it's weird because like I've had regular like people that come into the show because I did that for one semester. Mm-hmm. And some of them would be like, "Hey, when are you going to be on?" I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, people don't understand. People have no idea what's going on. Like people who watch TV have no like. So our shows that like loop from 1 a.m. on, like during normal, not COVID times, like our late night show airs all night into the morning into like the noon hour. There are people like a lot of people who think that there's a new show being recorded every hour, like we're live the whole time. Like people don't really understand how things work, right? Like in TV, you're just so disconnected from it. Like immigrant parents have no idea. Like like it's not that uncommon, I think, for people to not really understand like how TV works.
But like I don't know, it was kind of a compliment too. I thought, why can't I be there? But then
that's a good point, yeah.
Because the fucking mental warfare as a brown dude watching the media, dude.
Yeah.
The reason why I loved Family Matters is because they were brown and they were like the closest of. I mean, like, sure, my dad wasn't a cop, but let's say Full House, right? I love Full House. Full House because, like, okay, first of all, there's like a bunch of weirdos living in one home. That's like us, right? My mom our parents had a duplex, so there'd always be like a family that we'd help out who were just like,
much family in and out. Like, when I was younger, it was like every new family.
It was normal.
Stayed with us for a while till they got on their feet and stuff like that. Like
and people are fucking so careful about their space here in LA. They're like, okay, they have a 2-bedroom, but they can't let you stay in the living room. Or let alone like let you crash. Like, oh no, we don't feel comfortable. Oh,
bro, there's somebody always in the washroom. Like between like
I'm in the bathroom right now, dude.
Between like 1990 and 1996, I don't think there was a free washroom in my house. Like all the time, there was someone in there. Like it was.
You're like a spy. You're like a spy, just waiting for the footsteps.
Comfortable bullshit.
Oh, that's so funny. But yeah, man. So Ryerson got us there. When was the first time that we knew? I always knew you as the dude always cracking up the entire lectures like once in a while. I'm like, yo, this guy's always on point. Like you don't say much. You got your hat. Shaun's a hat dude, right? He's a sports guy, like since day one.
Hat is what caused me to lose hair quicker.
Dude, I've been losing my hair too because I've been. Yo, let's be real here, okay? I still got hair. Listen, this is my mentality right now with it, losing hair. I know it's gonna be gone.
Yeah.
With or without it, I'm still gonna be funnier. With or without it, you're still gonna be, you know, Shaun. But like, yeah, seriously, I think it's the hats because I've been.
I honestly, I think it might be. I don't know. Like, and the worst part is, like, I'm losing in the stupidest way. Like, I have like my receding, like my hairline's not really receding at all. It's just all in the middle. And there's like 1 or 2 patches at the back. So it's like kind of like pattern baldness, but with no pattern. It just looks so stupid. Like, I can't even imagine how dumb it looks all the time. Like, sometimes it looks better than others. You can cover it up at times, but like, it just is, it's not going well.
Have you thought of just like shaving it all off and getting it over with?
I have. Some people like some.
What's stopping you now? Look, yo, what's stopping you now?
I feel like I wanna let it play out. I kind of just want to see what happens. And kind of give it one last.
You want to see if springtime comes back.
Like, it's getting so long now without being able to get a haircut too. Like, so that's also part of it.
Dude, I'm at a point where my girlfriend just like, because we live in the same bachelor apartment, but like. Our floors are kind of like she'll collect all the hairs on the ground. Like, is this yours? I'm like, no, maybe that one's yours. But
luckily, Jill's hair is super blonde, so like we can tell. Like, but what's bullshit is you can't see hers as easily. Like, it's everywhere, but like you can't see it.
People come over. It's like, hey, nice carpet. It's like, nah, it's Shaun's hair from his ears falling. Man,
when you say bachelor apartment, do you have a separate bedroom, or is it like?
No, dude, it's just like a straight up room with one of the corners is a kitchen, and then on the other side there's an entrance, and the other side has a bathroom.
Does it feel like a res?
Ooh, you know what's funny? I treat it as like a really good permanent Airbnb.
Okay, fair.
But dude, listen to this. I will take a picture right now and show you the view.
Okay.
Or I'll show you where I'm at right now. So we are in between Hollywood and Sunset. And our street is called Hard. And the shit that you're gonna see right now is of downtown LA.
Okay.
But a couple of months before that, we were on the first floor, 105, and now we're on 305.
Oh, damn.
But dude, get this. Yo, 2 months ago, let me tell you just a quick story.
That's a sick view.
2 months ago, we got into a car accident.
Oh, shit.
So Carl and I, 2 months ago, when COVID was all, high up in the air, we made a decision to move back to Montreal. So, dude, like, because my girlfriend's also from Montreal, and then we're like, listen, we're not working.
Yeah.
We don't, like, if we get sick here, fucking health care or bills might be, like, off the roof.
For sure.
We haven't been back in a while, and, so we're like, okay, let's put all of our stuff in our friend's house. And just, it was so hard to leave our place. It was, like, in the middle. It's in East Hollywood, like, everything's so close. My girlfriend works in Beverly Hills, so she just takes Sunset Boulevard all the way down.
Oh, amazing.
That's like a fucking dream come true. For me, for auditions, I'll bike to the auditions. Takes like 30 to 45 minutes. I don't care. It's in it's California,
How sweaty are you for these auditions?
I'm always sweaty.
Like, come on, man. We want to make a first impression. White people always taught me that. Make a good first impression. You got to smell good. What is this? You're shitting all over these lessons.
That's why I'm not booking. That's why I'm not fucking booking. Yo, so imagine this, right? We leave, and then we buy one-way ticket back to Montreal. So we store all of our shit in Nikki San Pedro's home. You remember her?
I do, yeah.
So Nikki is living with her boyfriend, JJ, in Pasadena. It's a little bit up north. Yeah, so 2 months ago, we pack all of our stuff in 3 days. And then on our last day, on the second day, Nikki's like, this is not a Dan Ramos move. I'm like, why? She's like, it's too safe. Like, you just, like, what? You're going to go back to Montreal, wait it out, and then come back to the States when the borders are open? Because, dude, listen to this. If we stayed here, we would be losing money every month. We don't know when we're going to get any work, and we might get kicked out of the apartment or go back to Montreal. But let's say my girlfriend is needed ASAP for work and she can't come to the border, then her visa's done. If I get an audition or some shit and I'm stuck in Montreal, that's done.
True.
So, you know what? I just told Carla, listen, if I died right now, everything that I've ever done, I've accomplished. Dude, I've gone through pilot season. I tested for an ABC pilot. I booked a feature film. Did I tell you this?
I don't know about the feature film. You told me about
the
Dude,
I booked a fucking feature film. James Wan, his next fucking horror movie, biatch.
Holy.
Yo. It was a nationwide search. You know what the character is? A Filipino police sketch artist. You know how I went into the fucking audition with a motherfucking scarf and a motherfucking pen and a motherfucking paper. Everyone there looked like a cop. I was like, nah, I am not a cop.
No,
I'm an artist.
You have to look like an artist.
The first thing I do is sit down and see two old white ladies or the casting directors. I'm like, you ladies like balloons? I start sketching them.
You sketched the balloons, you didn't blow them up.
Yeah, and then one of them was like, make my tits bigger. I'm like, balloons are bigger, you know? Mm-hmm. Yo, 3 days later, I get a call from my manager. You booked it. What do you mean? I booked the role? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, holy shit. So the next day I go, I love segues. The next day they tell me, hey, you're going to go to the Opera Studios to do wardrobe.
Okay.
So I fucking bike there. It's me.
Of course.
I bike there and I'm weaving through traffic, and this was during the fires. So, if I was in traffic, I would have been late. If I was walking, then I would have been, So I biked, weaved and everything, and I'm sweating. I go there. I go to wardrobe. They're like, yo, you're sweating. I'm like, yeah, whatever. They give me my police, my police outfit, and they're like, okay, you're good to go. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay. So I'm walking out, and then a PA comes out. There's this redhead girl. She's like, hey, Dan, do you want to eat? I'm like, oh, you got like catering? They're like, yeah, before you go, come on.
All right.
So they're leading me there. And I'm like, what kind of chicken do they have? She's like, I think there's fried and rotisserie. And I'm like, yeah, James Wan knows. James Wan, he fucking knows. You know James Wan, right? Saw, Fast and Furious.
Yes.
Aquaman, all those dudes. Okay. So she stops me and she's listening to her earpiece. And she goes, okay. Hey, Dan, James Wan wants to meet you.
Oh.
And I'm like, what? I'm not even a principal. I'm just like, supporting. Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, he just wants to meet you. And I'm like, so no more chicken? Nah, dude. I'm like, damn it. So I'm like, okay, we got to make this quick because I got a meeting with Harvey at 3. So she's like, what? I'm like, whatever, don't worry. We're walking. We go into one of the studios. And I still have my helmet and I'm all sweaty. And then she's like, just stay here. And I'm like, okay. And then and then this tall, half Asian dude walks by, all bloodied face. And I'm like, hey, man, if you're going to go to catering, just make sure you wipe that face out because there's chicken and I don't want your blood on my chicken. He starts dying. He's like, what? And he's like, hey, are you playing Bosco? The reason why my name is Bosco. The reason why he picked the name Bosco is because he wanted to do an ode to Dante Bosco, who played Rufio. But that's so he goes, hey, are you playing Bosco? Like, yeah, why? He goes, oh, I'm Kalani. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, we're doing a scene together.
What?
And I'm like, no, man, Kalani's a girl. I'm doing a scene with Kalani. Because, on the script, I'm doing a scene with Kalani. And in my head, I see the name. I'm like, okay, short, Asian, Hawaiian sounding, So during the fucking tape, the audition, I'm like flirting. I'm like giving Kalani eyes and shit. And then I zoom back and then I go fast forward. I'm like, wait, you're not a girl?
You're doing a gay love scene?
That's what he asked me if topless is okay. So he goes, yeah, man, we're doing a scene. And my mouth just dropped. I'm like, oh my God. And then he starts dying. He's like, yo, we're going to have fun. I'm like, definitely. So he walks away. And then I feel the energy is there because he's the star of the movie.
That's crazy.
Right. He's the main dude. I'm like, oh my God, my scenes can't get cut for sure. All of a sudden, one of the redhead girls like, oh, they want to see you. I'm like, who? The money? They're like, yeah, the money people. So I'm wearing my shirt with my face on it, the Jollibee one. Yeah, I have this shirt. Yeah. And And I'm just standing there in front of like a bunch of, studio execs or whatever. And they're like, okay, this is Dan. He's going to be playing Bosco. And they're like, hi, makeup lady's waving at me. She's like, yeah, this is the funny dude. And then one of them was like, hey, what's that shirt? So I take off my army jacket. And then now they're just looking at me with my hat with a image of Jollibee that looks like me. They're all laughing. They're like, is that you? I'm like, I'm a business. Okay. And then I would just do a slow 360 and just show like my arms are out as like, a model. I'm like, I'm a business. That's why I'm here. And then they're like, oh my God, thank you. Okay, you're good. You're good to go. So I walk out and the redhead lady is like, who the hell are you? I'm like, yo, just stick with me. Okay. You don't know. Like, this is nothing. This is every day. And then they're like, okay, James Wan wants to see you. Cause I waited for like an hour and a half standing cause he's directing and I'm just waiting. I'm like, does he still want to see me?
Yeah.
They all asked me if I wanted to sit down. I'm like, no, man. Let me just stand and look and just, learn.
Yeah, exactly.
So then all of a sudden he calls me. They said, okay, go over to him. I'm weaving through a bunch of people. And then I'm surrounded by like 20 white people working. And then one Asian dude who's my height, my build. He turns around, he goes, Don! I'm like, James! And then he, kind of walks over and hugs me. And, this whole conversation, I have it taped. I'm like, if I want to remember this, I want to remember this forever.
So you were recording this in your pocket, like on your phone?
Exactly. So he goes, Dan, thanks for doing the movie. I'm like, dude, thanks for like having me here. Like, this is amazing. And he goes, your tape was so funny. Okay. He's like, that tape was 2 months ago. He's like, yeah, but you've had all these, he mentioned all the little shit, the subtle shit that I did. I'm like, yo,
he actually, first of all, noticed and took the time to like process all that. That's pretty awesome.
That's why I'm like, yeah, man. And I'm like, wait, was this like a nationwide search? Was it East Coast, West Coast? He's like, I saw tapes from everywhere. And I'm like, fuck. And then he just told me, what the scene's gonna be tomorrow, and then when we're done chatting, he's like, "Yo, you want to just chill?" I'm like, "All right." So I'm hanging out with him for another 30 minutes, standing behind him, like watching him direct.
That's awesome.
And as he's directing, I'd be like whispering, like, "Yo, what if she moved over there so that the jib could come down here? Because you guys." And he's like, "Oh, that's a good idea. Hey," and I'm like, "I just directed him. Okay, what? I'm done." That's on a resume. And then everyone was looking at me. It's like, yo, who is this guy?
If you had the scarf at that moment, would have been so good.
Yo, and this is the best part. He goes, when he was hugging me, my fucking helmet was hitting him on the hips.
Oh my God.
He's like, what is this? I'm like, oh, I brought my bike here. He's like, oh, like a motorcycle? Oh. And I'm like, and I was honestly embarrassed. I was like, no, like my bicycle, like my fixie bike.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's why I got the big calves. And then he starts laughing. He goes, oh, don't worry, we'll change that. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I just smacked his back.
That's amazing. So
dude,
hey, you might be a regular now with him.
Dude.
He wants to get you off that bike.
Dude, and listen to this, okay? The shit was supposed to be for like 4 days.
Okay.
For some reason, it extended to 2 weeks.
What?
I fucking got into the union because of this movie.
Holy shit. How many scenes did you do?
Dude, 5?
Oh, shit. And you were only supposed to do 1?
Yeah, I think so. That's what I was told.
Yeah.
Dude, but like every single time I'd be on set, dude, I remember after like the first week, this old black lady who was an extra, she's like, I don't know who you are, but every time you come in, like people are like a little bit happy. Like you're making the camera guys laugh, the sound guys laugh. Cause I'd be whispering, right? If I'm mic'd, I'll be like, hey, I'm going to fart right now. I'm sorry. And then you see them, and she's like this, you see how he doesn't really direct you? I'm like, yeah. She's like, that's why he doesn't have to worry about you. I'm like, oh. So she's like, just loosen up. I saw you coming in with that swagger. I'm like, you did? She's like, yeah. Dude, this one scene, so she made me feel so comfortable. This scene awesome. Was James Wan is like, okay, here, just take this big gulp, dude. It was like a venti sized big gulp filled with orange. Okay? Like a squishy, right?
Oh yeah, from some
like a slushy, right?
The big gulps, yeah.
So he's like, all right, you're gonna do this, you're gonna sip, and then no, he's like, you're gonna take this, walk over there, say something, and then leave. I'm like, wow, okay.
Okay.
So, dude, when I was looking at the camera guy, because there's like 8 cameras around us, one guy had a close-up on me. He's like a tall dude with dreads. I'm like, you got me? He's like, yeah. So I made shit so small that like I was struggling with the straw. Yo, as I'm walking, my eyes are twitching, just trying to get the straw.
And it's like licking around your lips.
Yo, every time they said cut, fucking that village, what area where they were like, watching the shit, they just erupt in laughter. Like, more. I'm like, oh my God.
They're liking this? Why?
They're liking this shit? That's crazy.
That's amazing.
Dude, so yeah, that's a movie. It's supposed to come out in August, but definitely we're gonna have to. They're pushing it back. So
they're gonna push it back, or are they gonna do like one of those virtual?
No, hell no. They're probably gonna push it back. It's too good to not be released. Malignant.
Oh.
So this is the one where he's writing, directing, and producing.
Nice.
And dude, this is the craziest thing. During that whole time,
movie in the Maleficent trilogy.
Oh no.
Okay. I need Angelina Jolie in this version.
You know how many dyslexics are gonna be like, wait, which movie?
Malignant. Okay, cool. I'll look out for that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, man. So that's a James Wan. See, here's the thing. When I moved here to LA, I didn't think I could do feature. Because I'm like, yo, I'm not that dude, right? I'm not.
Yeah.
But for some reason, yo, it just happened.
Yeah, that's
like so many times I'll see a Netflix show, and then Carla, my girlfriend, would be like, "Hey, didn't you audition for that role?" I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah, that was like 8 months ago. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me." So like imagine leaving all that to go back to Canada.
Yeah.
So on our last day of the move. So after that Nikki talk that it's not a Dan Ramos move, right? On the third day, we're driving back to Nikki's home from giving the keys away to the landlord and just going back to Nikki's. Because in 2 days, we'd be leaving straight to Montreal.
And when
I'd say like end of March.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's say March 27th, right? So we could give ourselves 3 days to go back to Montreal.
So you were still able to fly over at that point?
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. And it's one way too. So what are they gonna do? So Carla and I already had an Airbnb set up for our quarantine for the next 2 weeks, and you remember how stressful those 2 months were. Look at us now, breathing in the air, not caring. But 2 months ago, it was so tense.
Well, that's the thing. I was gonna say, like my first movie, it wasn't that weird for me because I work such weird hours that like for me it was kind of like, you know what, this is kind of just an extended like weird off time for me. But then the next month I thought was like really hard, and then like since then it's been like, okay, this is just our reality now, and it is what it is. But
dude, so mentally I just put everything to a halt. Yeah. All my dreams, everything. I'm like, that's pointless. Like pilot season is pretty much done. Nothing else is gonna happen. There's no production, and so we're driving back to Nikki's, and around 10 p.m. I see downtown LA to my right, and then all of a sudden I just hear the loudest screech. Like, and then lights from all corners of the mirrors start like getting brighter, and then I just braced myself, and then we hear my girlfriend's Fiat just got hit in the back, and then we swerved and spun and whatnot. What? When we were like done, I was just like in shock, like I was shaking. I was like, oh my God. Like, I was afraid I was stabbed, too, because all of her shit was in the back.
Yeah.
So imagine, like, a Final Destination fatality. Like, I don't know, the corner of a table going into my ear or some shit. With something. So, yeah, for a minute, I'm just, like, silent and a little shaky. Carla, too, but her adrenaline rush, like, pumped so hard that she got out of the car in a Ford busy lane highway on the 101 Hollywood freeway. And then we see the Prius, like, 10 feet away, just there. Like, she wouldn't even get out. So Carla and I like drove to the side, and then all of a sudden we call the cops, and then she gets hit by 2 other cars. Yo, the cops come like 5 minutes later. Traffic is halted. I look back, and then I just see like an entire freeway looks like a bright white snake because all the lights are just facing 2 helicopters above us. I'm like, and my phone's dead, so I couldn't record any of this.
What time of the day is this?
10 p.m. Yeah, man. So like the cops come, they get information. Oh, before the cops come, she goes, "Why did you call the cops?" And we're like, "Why?" She goes, "I'm illegal." I'm like, "What?"
That's such an LA thing.
I'm like, "Do you have insurance?" She's like, "No." And I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Then don't hit us.
So and then the cops come and then they talk to her and then they come to talk to us and they're like, "You do know that she smells of alcohol."
Oh my God.
And we're like, "What?" And then in our head, she even told us before the cops came that she was pregnant. So I'm like, "Wait, she's pregnant, illegal. You're driving drunk."
This is too many issues.
And this is us leaving. And Shaun, we drive back home to Nikki. Carla's fucking car looks like an accordion.
Well, she must have been like super rattled. Like I've had one big accident. Like you're shaking after.
Oh, dude.
Your legs shaking on the pedal. Like it's horrible.
And then you know what happens? We don't go back to Canada because we have to deal with this shit. So for 2 months, we're staying with Nikki.
Oh my God.
And like try to figure. Oh, by the way, she also gave us a fake name and number.
Oh my God, the lady from the Prius.
Yeah, and we're like,
how
wait,
is
we
this
can't
a
reach
legal
her number?
person who's pregnant and is drinking have all these? How is she affording a Prius?
Exactly. So for 3 weeks, dude, we got the estimates of the car. It would have been like 7-8K.
Yeah.
And then Carla's stressing, and I'm trying to make the best of it. And I remember telling Carla, "Listen, I know that we're really down right now. We can't go back. We have to cancel everything, dude." And then Carla's like, "We should have just stayed in Hollywood." And then, it was so stressful. But, dude, so imagine 2 months ago, okay, me telling Carla this. I told Carla, "Listen, I don't know when things are going to get back to normal. I don't know when, if we're ever going to come back to Hollywood, back to our little apartment. But listen, the situation's this. We might have to pay out of pocket. We are injured as well because we both had whiplash. We're not working." But I told her, "Listen, just know that in maybe a couple of weeks, years, or whatever, decades, everything's going to be back to normal." And she's like,
right, like that's like at least you guys were okay.
Yeah, for sure. But dude, man, my neck was a little cracky for the past week. Oh my God. But here's the thing. Fast forward to now. Within these 2 months, we did a big Google search. We basically found who the owner of the car was and sent them a letter saying that, we might sue you, blah, blah, blah. We have all these lawyers ready. And within 3 days, insurance called Carla. And dude, her car got fixed. They gave us a little bit of money, which was okay. We stayed with Nikki and JJ for another 2 months. But within those 2 months, I started going back to work. She started going back to work. Her car's back to normal. And we finally moved back to the building that we moved out of. And we're on the 3rd floor, and that's that view.
Wow. That's it.
And before that, our bachelor pad, we didn't have an oven, dude. We just worked with a small hot plate.
What?
We made so many meals with that one hot plate, and we didn't complain. Yeah. Here's the thing, man. People could complain. It's weird how we didn't have a kitchen. But, we made it happen, dude. We saved so much money. Our rent is so cheap in comparison to some of my friends because everything's included in this shit, right? And with the money that we got from the insurance, we could afford a little bit more. We got a better view. Now we don't have to worry about where the helicopters are coming from because we could always see it.
That's why.
Dude, so it was a stressful 2 months, let me tell you. That's why when people are complaining about COVID and the mask, I'm like, dude, did you get hit? Did you get?
Right, yeah.
Did you try to get money or was
Honestly.
That's why this entire 2 months I started thinking what are my passions? I love talking to myself. When I was a kid, I just record tapes of me just making sounds. Oh yeah,
I used to do weird shit, man. But I don't think a lot of people, especially these days, are really comfortable entertaining themselves.
They don't have that heart. They don't have that heart.
They're not comfortable entertaining themselves. It's just it's not a thing that's really, I don't know, maybe
it's a job. There's no passion. It's it's repetitive, monotone shit that let me talk about this.
I was telling Jill this the other day. So when I was a kid, I used to have this it was really lame. It was this little dice set. It was a wooden block that had the 4 bases of a baseball diamond with pegs, right? And so the idea,
I love that shit. I love those shit.
The idea of the game is you roll a dice, and if you get a certain number, it was a home run or a single or a double. If you roll a dice, it would be. If you roll a 12, it'd be a strikeout. But I would take that and set up 2 full lineups from teams that were playing that day.
Oh,
I literally play the game and basically make my own scenarios for them, how the game was playing out, and like keep score. And I think I used to like commentate it to myself. Sometimes like I was just like such a nerd, but like you could pass hours that way. Nobody does that.
Shaun, are you fucking telling me that isn't practice to what you're fucking doing right now? Come on.
100%.
Look at us.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I don't know, man. All my playful imagination shit is still relevant at this point because it's like refined. You know how people have a hard time? Oh, I can't be funny. Oh, it's hard. Is it? What was the last time you actually had to try to be creative, Shaun, in your own field? You know by heart. You know.
Yeah.
It's like you have. I don't know, man. I have my waves of like when was the last time you read a book? And what kind of books do you read?
Okay, so for me, I find I haven't been reading a lot of books lately, only because, I don't know, for the last like 10, 15 years, I find I fall asleep really quick reading a book.
Okay, this is the best part. I'm going to recommend you this book. You got to buy it, Amazon it, or steal it, or whatever. It's called, I swear to God, I hope somebody has ever recommended this book to you.
Okay.
It's by Stephen Pressfield called The War of Art. Not The Art of War. The War of Art.
No, I don't think I've heard of that.
Dude, go online right now, look or whatever if you got it. But get it ASAP because that book just points out the flaws in you in terms of like what's resisting you from achieving that shit. Like you telling me that, oh, I'm tired. That's already an excuse not to read.
No, that's the thing. Like for me, I already know that's an issue that's only mine. I don't blame anybody for that. But I do spend a lot of time reading. I'm just usually reading articles. I'm usually reading like things like that. I just feel like I read better in short form now than I used to. Because I find like I put off reading till probably the time that I'm tired. And I think that's usually what or like when I used to try to read on a commute to Ryerson, it'd be like I remember bringing this like massive Bill Clinton biography with me for like a month or two, and I get like 2 chapters in, and I couldn't get through it and I was super interested in the book, but I just started dozing off. It's just probably because I was tired because I hadn't slept well the night before or whatever it was. So like I find like now it's just like, you know what, I do love reading. I just don't read as many like novels anymore. I'm just like I can get through articles. I can get through like
you know what, novels and I don't know, fiction shit, whatever. You don't need to find entertainment there. But this is just gonna help you like get back into the zone. You know.
Okay.
Yo, so I just want to remind you about.
Oh my God.
Let's talk about comedy. A comedy writing class.
Oh fuck.
What year? What semester?
That had to be.
And who was the teacher?
Had to be third year.
Okay, dudes. For those who don't know what we're talking about, so Shaun, you don't understand how much I was looking forward to this since year one.
Oh, okay. That's how I looked forward to sports broadcasting class, which was in the same year and just as terrible. I remember these very specifically. Both these classes, I was so excited for them. And I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Oh God.
Was that Coutanche?
I think Coutanche took over afterwards because it started off with the red-green dude. Remember?
Oh my God, yes.
That's why. Or I feel that he was the one that finished the entire year.
It might have been, yeah. Because really weirdly.
Because Coutanche just probably just taught us creative writing or some shit. I don't know.
I don't know if it was the red-green dude or somebody related or someone that he worked for that passed away shortly after.
Oh.
And I went
that's why he had to leave. Oh, sorry. I don't know.
No, but I went to a few. Oh no, you know what it was? It was the owner of the place I did my co-op and that I used to work at Video and Arcade Top 10. He died really tragically, really young. He was like 55 or something. And he was a great dude. He died. And then I remember seeing that dude, that red-green guy. I couldn't even remember his name. He had a very generic white name. But I saw him at the funeral and I was like, this is so weird. I haven't seen this guy since this horrible class that we took.
Wait, so you saw the teacher at a funeral? At
a funeral. That's the last time I remember seeing him. And I just remember
you should have whispered in his ear, sir, you can't write this shit. You know that? And do a fucking cartwheel onto the body.
Were you and I in the same group in that class?
I think we both separated at one point, but and then we combined because we fucking pitched. Remember we pitched that crazy. Okay, remember when Aaron Zorgel and I don't know who else were trying to pitch a pilot, but and then we actually shot it about a guy traveling across the world or something.
I don't remember this that well.
Okay, dude. So like, I think we all got tired of his teaching.
Yes.
And then he just said, "Okay, what is it that you want? Do you want us to make something all together?" And we're like, "Yeah." And we're like, "Okay, so somebody start pitching." And I think Aaron Zorgel goes, "Yeah, so there's this guy, right, who has these pants, and he's like, I don't know, like traveling all over the world." Yo, dude. And people just kept on bullshitting each other. And the guy who was like, "Oh, this is really interesting. This is very..." And then we actually shot it. And we shot it.
The worst riffing ever leads to a full production.
Yeah, no, we actually did that shit.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yeah, but
because that reminds me of it.
Wait.
Was that the same? Was comedy production was a separate class, right?
I think.
Or was it all the same class?
I think comedy production was it.